Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to teach you Python. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Python is a very good skill. It's a very good thing to know. It can save you a lot down the line. Like, for example, not strictly, this isn't for strictly Python, but I had this issue and I'm doing it in another language called Rust, which I actually like more, but it's harder to learn, where my phone is broken. I can't use my phone. And so my to-do app, I'm unable to access it, so I'm building my own to-do app. It's very useful, but without further ado, let's get into it after this final note, and that is, if I do anything with my headset or facial expression that is weird, like I look up and cringe a little, that doesn't mean anything. This headset just sometimes gets itchy or uncomfortable, so I might do that. I don't always know when I do that, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so I've got a curriculum actually prepared right here, and let me just run it. And this is lesson 1. So let me make this bigger so y'all can see. Okay, so we're gonna learn printing to the screen. Let's get into it. So I'm going to create, so to start out, you want to make sure Python is installed on your system. I'm not gonna go over that today. There's plenty of tutorials out there. Also, I'm on Linux, so I can't really run the Windows installer. On Linux, it's easy though. If you are on Linux, all you have to do, if you're on Ubuntu, you just have to do sudo apt install python is python 3 and press enter. I'm not going to do that. You'll also want python 3 pip if you're on Ubuntu. If you're on Arch, just do sudo pacman-s. Python will already be installed on Arch, so just do python pip, like that. And so to start, create a new file, and that's odd. Yeah, I just started using Pop! OS today because Arch wasn't working for me. So CD desktop. So you can just right click and create a file. But I guess I have to do this for some reason. But okay, now you have a PY file. Now, the way people do stuff a lot of times is they make a project folder and they in here put main.py. I don't do that. Well, I do that, but for this tutorial, I'm just gonna make a standalone file. Okay, so you'll also probably want to get an IDE. I actually have one. I can't get Python syntax highlighting to work on it though. So I'll open this file. Okay, let's start. So to print stuff to the screen, use this print function. Now, unlike other languages, like for example, let me show you some Rust code. So here's some Rust code I made. Now, you'll notice like there's semicolons at the end and everything is in curly brackets. In Python, it's different. You don't need semicolons in Python. Also, strings don't have to have double quotes. They can have double or single. So I'm just gonna print hello world, like that. Let's put an exclamation mark. So now, if I open up a new terminal and CD to my desktop, by the way, all the commands I'm doing here, they work on Windows too. They're cross-operating system, mostly, unless you have like some really niche operating system that decides to invent the wheel everywhere, reinvent it, but for the most part, this is all the same. So, but like on Windows, it's CLS instead of clear to clear the screen. So, I'm going to do Python tutorial.py, and as you can see, it prints out to the screen. Now, I don't like super long tutorials, so I'm going to teach you as much as I can while still keeping it a good tutorial. So, what's next? Using basic variables. Okay, so this, in quotation marks, this is called a string. This is where you can put any text. You can put \n2 to print a new line. So like, hello will be on one line, and then, so hello on one line, world on the next line. That's what that does. So I'm going to show you how to do custom variables. I'll name my variable custom variable, something like that. So unlike other languages, or like in Rust, if I want to make a variable, I do let custom variable, or I think that's the same in JavaScript too. In Python, you just declare the variable name, and then equals, and then your value. So let's say, yay, Python. So here it is, and to print out this variable, we can do this, or like this. If we put this in strings, let me show you, it will do nothing, because remember, it's a string. So if I do this, you can see it just does that. And to make this stuff a little faster, let me do this. Like that? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it just prints out custom variable. But if I make this a raw variable in here, now, yay, Python. And also, there's a thing that's very handy. It's called formatted strings, where if you put an F before these quotation marks, you can say, for example, and the custom variable is, and then you put these curly brackets. Now, if you remove F, the curly brackets will just be treated like the rest of the string, but when you put an F here, it means formatted string, and in here we'll pass in custom variable. And as you can see, it works. So that's that. We can also, I'm straying way too far away, I'm sorry. But we can also store numbers. It's the same, really. So I'll call this number 1 equals 5, let's say. Number 2 equals 9. And I'll say number 3 equals 5 times 9. Now we can say, for example, let's say number 1 plus, no, times number 2 is equal to number 3. Now, if we print this out, as you can see, yeah, we just did math with variables. That's awesome. And I want to make sure, yeah, this video has been on my mind for a while, back when Python was still my favorite language. It's a good language, it's just not the most advanced, not the most powerful. So, yeah, so I began to delve into math operations. Good. Okay, so, yeah, so let's actually do this. So, number 1 times number 2. That means we don't need number 3 anymore. And, let me see here, so let me copy, so I just hit Shift Home to copy the whole line. So this is plus, this will be minus. So very straightforward. Now, I forgot to mention this. This star means times. You don't put an X here, you put a star. It's confusing, but you get used to it quickly, and it makes sense later on. So, now the last one, which will be, well, actually not the last. So division is a slash. Another very, well, actually, yeah, it makes sense. But that's division. Now modulus, this will be a percent sign. I'm not very familiar with modulus, so I don't know why the sign is that. I mean, I know what it does. It gives you the remainder of division instead of the division answer. So yeah, those are math operations. If I go back to this terminal. Okay, so as we can see here, and the custom variable is yay Python. Now, 5 plus 9 is 14, 5 minus 9 is -4, correct, that's all correct. 5 times 9 is 45, that's correct. 4 divided by 9 is that big number, that sounds correct. 5 modulus 9, that's 5, that sounds correct. So, yeah, that's math. And that's really, well, here's some more stuff. So if I delete this, let's do some, so just like in real life, times and division gets done first before before addition and subtraction. So multiplication and division before plus and minus. So if I do, what should we do? Let's do 4 plus 3 times 7. Now, if we do this, we get 25. Now, we can force this 4 plus 3 to run first by putting parentheses around it. And now, what do we get? We get 49. So, that's really it for math. yeah, nothing else really that I can think of. Yeah, I really never script these videos. I don't like scripting. I think it's dishonest in some ways. So, using if statements, let's dive into this. So, let's check a condition. So let's say age equals 18. Now, to declare a new block of code, so I'll just write this if statement. So if, you declare an if statement with if. If age is equal to, now this just means assign. If you see one equal sign, it just means assign this value to this. So like equal sign basically just means like put 18 into age, if that makes sense. Now two equal signs means is actually equal to. I know it's confusing, but that's how it is. Now let's say age is equal to 21, and what we can actually do is say if age is greater than or equal to 21. That's how you say greater than or equal. We could say greater than, which would just be that, but let's say greater than or equal. We can also say not equal to, so equal to, not equal to, greater than, or lesser than. So age greater than 21, age lesser than 21. So let's stay to that. And to declare that the following code is attached to this, so we could just say like the code there, but instead let's do it the proper Pythonic way. Let's say welcome to my bar. What can I get you today? But let's say else. So now if this condition, if age is greater than or equal to 21, if that returns false, then what we can do is say else, and this else won't run if age is actually greater than or equal to 21. So we can say else print sorry chap, you are not old enough, buddy. I don't know, maybe our bartender is British? The old British. So yeah, he's British, let's say that. And actually, what we can do is say bartender. That actually just gave me an idea. So let's say, and notice how I'm using single quotes. You can use single quotes or double quotes. So let's say British, I think that's how you spell it, yeah. Let's say if bartender equals British, then, and it's very important that to attach this code to this block, you indent the code like that. So I just indented, an indent equals 4 spaces, by the way. So, and we can say else please leave, you are not old enough. And so now when we, oh, wrong terminal again. So now, if we run this, it says, and the, sorry chap, you are not old enough, buddy. Now, if we increase this to 21, welcome to my bar. What can I get you today? Now, if we say like 42, for example, it still says welcome to my bar. What can I get you today? Because we said greater than or equal to. If I just did equal to, even if I did 42, it would still say, sorry chap, you're not old enough. Now, if I set this back to 18, you know how this says, sorry chap, you're not old enough, buddy? That is because we set our bartender to be British. Let's say he is American. Now it says, please leave, you are not old enough. So yeah. But you know, I like the British, they're nice. So I'll leave him as British. Now, let's say this looks like the bartender. Let's say you need an ID. So okay, let's just say else if, because you can also actually in Python you say Elif. So Elif means if returns false, then do Elif. That also needs a condition. Else just means if any of the conditions fail, do that. So let's say age is equal to, is less than, actually this is a great opportunity. We can say is equal to 20 or, so you can do and, so if both conditions on that line equal, so if there's an and, then both conditions have to equal true for the condition to execute. If one of them equals true but the other doesn't, the whole thing means false and it doesn't execute. Now if you put an or here, it means if either one is true, then it executes. If both are false, then it doesn't, if that makes any sense. I hope that does. So, okay, enough with my rambling. So, Elif age is equal to 21, or if age is less than, so Elif age equal to 20, or age is less than 20, then say, sorry chap, you are not old enough, buddy. Let's say, let's do another condition here. And actually, I have an idea. So actually, you make comments like this in Python. Comments are just lines of code that the computer won't read. So like you can make notes with comments. But I like 2 slashes because it's just a nice way to know where I am. It's just me. So let's say is less than or equal to 21. And let's say and age is more than, and I can also put variables where these values are too. Just gonna mention that. Let's say and age is more than 15. Maybe we have a very mature kid coming in. And if, and so let's say else, yeah, I am so sorry, but you are clearly not old enough. So now, let's set age to this. So let's say age is 21. We'll leave our bartender to be British. Welcome to my bar. What can I get you today? And now if we set this to 18, sorry chap, you are not old enough, buddy. And we can change this and it will say the other thing, but I don't want to waste any time. Let's say 16. Sorry chap, you're not old enough, buddy. Good. 15. Yeah, I am so sorry, but you are clearly not old enough. So yeah, so like a 2-year-old comes in. Yeah, I am sorry, but you are clearly not old enough. Okay, good. So we've got if statements in the bag. Okay, what do we have next? Prompting the user. Hey, and we've got a very good base for this already. So let me bring up the terminal so we don't have any more mistakes on my part. So the way you get user input, it's very easy. You just type in input, and what this does is it will prompt the user to put in a value, and it will put that value into age. So this is what we call a returning function, and I'll get into that later. But let's just say, what is your age? So now we have this age, and I'll just do that so it looks nicer in the terminal. And let's say age equals int age. What this will do is it will, because when you answer this, even if you answer a number, the input function is not smart enough to know if it's a number or not. So it will just return a string. So like if you enter in 4, it will just return a string as 4, but what int does is it takes away the string, and if there's a number there, it can convert it. One sec, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. The wait would have been instant for you because I just paused. Okay, so age int. Now we have this. Now if we run this, see over here it prompts us for our age. I'll put in 13 because I'm 13 years old. Now it says, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I am so sorry, but you're clearly not old enough. Yeah, good. Now we can always just take this off and it will just return a string. That's really it. Now let's try this again with a different age. Let's say 18. Sorry chap, you're not old enough, buddy. Good. Now let's do 21. Welcome to my bar, what can I get you today? It works, good. Alright, so I think that's it. So yeah, we did all of that stuff. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the lesson. You have homework. If you want to do it, of course it's YouTube, so you don't have to do it, but it would help you, and I would strongly recommend it. Like, I don't like homework, but it would really help you to grasp these concepts, to develop them in your head if you do this homework, and that is build a calculator. A CLI calculator, that just means a command line calculator. We were doing everything command line. So yeah, build a calculator. Tell me down in the comments if you could successfully do it. I'd love to know how I can improve. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.